Hello, good evening. My name is Morgan, I bid you all welcome back to Risen. Apologies for missing a week, but, well, couldn't keep up the streak forever, could we? Anyway, we are on the trail of the last of the crystal discs needed for Mendoza in order to get into the mountain that he's so concerned with. And that is in basically the same direction once we went and helped Henrik and found the Geiger. And as you recall from last time, we have stirred up something unexpected from these ruins. And there are now some lizard men walking about. And that wasn't going to be the last we saw of them. And what we're doing next would be, I think, the other trigger for them to spawn out in the world. So yeah, it really wasn't necessarily necessary for me to save the Eastern Temple until last. Well, until the last episode, but, well, there's gonna be one or the other. Suppose I could have done it first, then headed over here, did Geiger, and then did this. Would have been a bit more sensible, but anyway. Here is where Henrik ended up with his pet doggy. Good boy. And his wife.
Hey! I do the talking. He does the biting. What do you want? Touch anything and I'll set Rufo on you. He needs a good meal.
He doesn't seem the biting sort.
Don't be fooled. He's a killer.
I'm gonna be honest, I did not know that she had different dialogue if you talked to the wolf first. So, that's a surprise to me.
What are you doing out here, all alone in the middle of the wilderness?
I'm not alone. I've got Henrik and Rufo. We live here.
You're a hunter. Can you teach me about hunting?
Henrik's the teacher. Go and ask him. He taught me everything I know about hunting. But I can sell you a couple of useful things.
Do you have anything to sell?
Now, if you notice, she's the same voice actress as Patty. Because they could only afford, like, 3 actresses for this game. Just for the record, off-screen, I did get 20 more mana, so that's a big help. And I went and grabbed the treasure chests along the way. One in the cave where Patrascon's tomb was, where I found this Ring of the Sword Fighter. And then the rest of them in the Geiger ruins that I couldn't get because I didn't have the unlock spells. The only thing really interesting down there was this max health potion, which is obviously quite nice. She sells a Ring of Sneak, which you already have. So that's actually the third, I believe, we could find. The other one we found on the northwest beach. And, of course, the one we keep using is the one we found, buried next to the barracks in Harbortown. She also sells the Jaw Tongs and the Sting Breaker, which are 2 tools for hunting trophies that I had mentioned we could have grabbed a while ago. They were actually, turns out, they were sold by Flavio in town as well, who's a hunting merchant I keep forgetting about. So I was wondering when the dude in the bandit town would sell them, if ever. But yes. So we could have had those much sooner and been getting...
There you are again.
Here I am again. Been getting a lot of animal trophies, like rotworm tusks. Actually, did she show? Yeah, jaw chisel. Could have gotten the rotworm teeth and stingers. But we're not super hurting for cash. We may, in the long term, wish we had that money. But we'll manage. You guys mind if I'm in here?
Don't touch anything.
Not
right?
too much. I'm gonna just use your bed.
Kindly find your own bed.
Nope, I will not use your bed. So be it. Otherwise, they didn't sick the dog on me. And behold, lizard boys. Let's take out the moles first. There's one weird thing about these guys that always bugged me, is the way they walk. Their walking animation has them move the same arm with the same leg. I don't understand why. You mind? Also, they eat flies, apparently. Guess they've been underground long enough, they've gotten quite hungry, they'll eat anything. I guess he doesn't want to walk anymore. So, eat shit. Nice thing about these guys is they're big enough that even when they flinch from the magic bullet, you don't need to try and compensate your aim for their flailing, like you do with humanoid characters. Anyway, we found the teleport rune that gets us right about here, so that's nice. Now, obviously, you could have gotten out here at any time. And I'll be honest, I don't know what would happen if you met the Druid character that we're looking for without the mission. So maybe that's something I go ahead and try and figure out. And add it in as an addendum to this. What a nice scenic little valley, though. One thing I always wonder, I mean, obviously it's a fictional setting, so kind of don't need to answer this question, but I feel like an island like this would be much more developed. It's got enough natural resources out and about that I feel like it would be pretty well, like, populated. It wouldn't just leave this much untamed wilderness out and about. But obviously the world can only be so large, and it would be quite a boring RPG if it was all agriculture and villages and shit. No wilderness for you to adventure in. I think I found another... Yep, found another tool bag. So even the gnomes all the way out here still carry those. Probably have upwards of 30 that you can... Or 25 at least. That you can find throughout the world. Really, once I finished the quest, I stopped thinking about them. I'm not one of those people who's obsessed with keeping my inventory neat and tidy. So all the junk that accumulates, I just ignore it. There's a path up the mountain, but we don't really need to go that way. Over there you can see the Geiger Peninsula. But what we're looking for is right under the shadow of this mountain, as Mendoza said. And that looks like a mage standing out front to me.
What are you doing here?
Chasing after you.
Eldric would finally turn up.
Where is the Druid?
If I knew, he'd be here with me. It seems there was a fight here.
Any sign as to where Eldric might have gone?
No, but maybe we can find a clue in his hut. Well then, get along, get looking.
You ain't looked yourself, dude. You've been out here for ages. Alright, so luckily he still has his merchant inventory, so if you need any of these runes or whatnot, you can get them out here. We don't have a whole lot of need for any of these. We have the Nautilus rune. We have the Strength rune, which we'll probably never use. Magic protection. Levitate telekinesis. Do we have that? I guess we don't. I'm sure it's out in the world somewhere. I'll have to figure that out, because I don't really want to buy it. Tell joke. I probably never need that. We actually have it. I'm an idiot. Create illusion. Don't need it. Once you get to a certain point in this game, like Chapter 3 or so, really dealing with NPCs is not such a big deal that all these NPC-based spells like Tell Joke and Illusion become a lot less useful. Also, this old coin. It's something that I keep stumbling across and forgetting about. And like I said, junk in my inventory just gets ignored. But off screen, I was wondering what the hell the deal is with that, because I never remember picking it up anytime I play this game. And it turns out it is just carried by Dorgan, who is Brogar's henchman that we had to find.
Better start again.
Find his carcass out in the cave.
Yes.
And I guess that item's there to make sure his body doesn't disappear until you find it. Kind of like how corpses in Gothic 2 always carried the old coin. So maybe that's a reference to it more than anything, because it doesn't seem like they need it anymore. There's plenty of unnamed corpses out in the wild that don't carry any specific object to make sure they don't despawn. I'm pretty sure by this point they had figured out how to make it so that any unclaimed loot would prevent the carcass from despawning. Well, we found a sleeve.
I'll have to pick this, or find the key. That's impossible.
So another case where he says, I'll have to pick it, but it is unpickable, not even with magic picks.
I found a torn sleeve in the hut.
It must be Eldric's. Whatever happened, he resisted.
We'll only know what happened when we find him.
Indeed, so let's get about finding him.
We have to search for Eldric.
We? This is your task. I'll remain here in case he returns.
It was literally
Well, we
your
need
task
him,
to go
so
find
I'll
him.
find him.
Druids, hermits wandering off. Sheer stupidity.
There's a girl, Jasmine, who lives near here. She may have seen the Druid.
Well, ask her. May have is no use. Discover. Discover.
You don't seem to be concerned with discovering everything except the soggy end of that blunt you're smoking. So I believe the quest specifically points you to Jasmine because of the possibility that Henrik could have died on the island with you. They could have just made him one of those immortal characters who only gets knocked down and not killed, but I guess they didn't feel like doing that.
There's a Druid lives around here. Have you seen him?
What druid?
His name's Eldric.
You must mean that crazy old man with the hut, further up. Haven't seen him in a while, but that's not unusual. He's not really the social type.
I really need to find Eldric.
Isn't he at his hut?
No, it seems to have been abandoned.
Then I've no idea where the crazy old loon could be. But if it really is urgent, then maybe my wolf Rufo can help you.
How could your wolf help me?
He has the best nose on the whole island. He can pick up Eldric's trail and lead you to him, if you have anything with the old man's scent on it.
How much do you want for your wolf?
Oh, I'd never sell him, but I might loan him out.
Okay, so how much to hire him?
Well, I've got a bunch of skins I need to sell, but I can't get into the town. If you bought them off me for, say, 200 gold, then I might be persuaded. You'll not come off badly on the deal either. Fair's fair.
Well, at least it's not just paying for nothing.
I'll buy your skins.
Great. Here you go.
And I believe those are worth, what, 10 apiece? Or is it 25 in this game? I can never remember.
What about the wolf?
Sure, I'll let you borrow Rufo, but don't let anything happen to him.
I'll be careful.
You'd better. He's not just an animal, he's family. But you'll still need to get Rufo to trust you, so make friends with him. Give him something to eat. That usually does the trick. I can sell you some raw meat. That's his favorite.
So I had to pay to hire the dog and then pay to feed him as well? Ridiculous.
Hey boy, here, I've got something for you.
Come on, I'm feeding you.
Yes,
Be
you're a
friendlier.
good boy. Rufo, seek.
Rawr, rawr. Alright, now you gotta follow the dog. And I don't recall what happens if you lose the dog or anything happens to the dog. But at that point, you may just have to find your way on your own. Obviously, if you just keep your eyes open and explore a bit, you should find what you're looking for. Okay, well, you're not taking me anywhere I don't know. Woof woof.
Of course, the Druid's hut. Come on, Rufo. Search.
Have you found Eldric?
Not yet.
Keep looking. We must find him.
We indeed.
I have a wolf. that will lead us to Eldric.
A wolf? Well, wolves and druidism go back a long way. It could work. I'll accompany you if you wish.
Hey, come with me.
All right.
Man, I'm learning a lot of things today. I honestly never thought to talk to him while we made our way past here. I usually come back for him afterwards. It actually saves us a bit of time. Arf, arf. Ooh, 4 barks. What does that mean?
Yeah, good wolf. Strange place you've brought me. Feels like walking through someone's grave.
And he always stops talking while I'm taking a sip.
Keep searching, Rufo.
Arf, arf. Also, one thing I should mention. In the last episode, I believe I said that this helmet was one of 2, or one of 3 you could find in the game.
Neat work!
Okay, Cyrus really enjoyed that. Does dog wait? Dog waits, alright. Turns out that's actually not true. In Chapter 3, another merchant gets another helmet in his inventory. It's actually Carlson, the monastery smith, who gets another helmet that is a slight improvement over this one. And the 4th helmet is a mandatory one that we need later in the game, but I shan't really go into details on that one yet.
We'll get him. One less monster.
And Rufo will help in combats. I don't know if he's terribly durable. I'd be concerned about relying on him too much. Let's just kind of see what his deal is. Oh. We're having a little bit of standoff here. Interesting. I'm having trouble landing hits on him. Come on, Rufo.
Watch out! You can do it!
Okay, I think he actually took a hit there.
Use your training!
Cyrus is just having a wonderful time spectating. I don't know, they're not... Rufo's landed a hit. It's hard to tell if they're... Okay, they're definitely hitting him. But he's taking no damage.
Yes, good stuff!
Okay, so Rufo is actually invincible here.
Well done. Did you find something, Rufo?
Arf, arf. So now you get a chance to look around here. One thing to notice is the Druid's staff, which is, in fact, a staff weapon, which we cannot equip. But it is a fairly unique one. I don't believe you can find another one like it. And unfortunately, once we find the Druid, we don't... Well, it's not in our best interest to keep it.
Keep going, Rufo. Good boy.
There's a lot of wildlife out here you can mop up if you feel like it. I don't really want to take our time here yet. Take any time in our quest here for it. I don't know why he stops there. It always kind of bugs me, but I think that's just another case where they make sure if you lose him, he can't have gone too far ahead, because that's a spot he's going to stop. More gnomes. Another tool bag I did not mean to pick up. Oh well. Arf arf.
Come on, keep going.
Well, wouldn't you know?
Yeah, good wolf. Come on, keep looking. You can find him. What's wrong? Don't you want to keep going? Is Eldric in there? Then I'll have to go on alone. Good, Wolf. You can go home now.
Well, he did what he could. And it would seem our way is shut by some magic red lightning. Cyrus has nothing to say about it until we touch it.
A magic barrier. Maybe Master Cyrus can help.
Perhaps he can.
Can you help me open this barrier?
Perhaps I can. Let me see. Let me see.
Okay, well, you just saw me do that.
It's certainly a magic barrier.
Can you open it?
You can do that yourself. There's a spell for it. I brought a couple of scrolls.
Very good. Let me grab... Wait, I thought there was a chest out here for some reason. Just some stretched textures, unfortunately. Alright, he handed over a few of these, which is handy. Kablooey. And I hear snarls from within.
One less monster!
Having Cyrus down here is a little bit handy.
Neat work!
Problem is, he's really good with his magic bullets. You know, about as good as we are. But, in the cramped quarters, he tends to resort to melee, where he doesn't really have the same punch. Hello.
Here we go! Neat work!
But I pack enough punch for the both of us. Seems to be the end of the road here. Now watch your feet. I don't really remember if and where there are traps.
Yes, good stuff!
Good stuff indeed. And we have a map of the prison. So ain't that nice. These more stylized maps are a bit harder to interpret. But not impossible. They also don't show when there's like cave-like tunnels.
Yes.
A lot of times those are off the map because the map is of the building itself. Not anything what's been carved out in the meantime. What lays down the center passage? Many lizard men. And we have a hallway.
Neat work!
To work to our advantage. Now, luckily you can't hit Cyrus, so you can just kind of blast right through him.
Yes, good stuff!
Which is handy. He's at the very least a good tank. Despite it being a mage. Also, I believe you can take one of these swords and actually show it to the smith in town. Which I'll be sure to do before I sell them all.
One less monster!
This lock is too difficult.
Oh, is it? There's quite a lot of place in this place. You'll notice undead priest just beyond. This guy also has magic spells, so bear that in mind. But luckily, he's not too clever.
I'm not budging from this spot.
You don't need to. I'm going across on my own. If you ever use a levitate spell, anybody following you will remain behind. What do you got? Not much at all. And an Inferno scroll. Now that spell is basically the Fire Rain of previous games. And I forget whether or not it's actually useful in this one. It's kind of a coin toss with Piranha Bytes games, whether or not that spell is absolute devastation or complete dog shit.
I'm not budging from this spot.
Nobody asked you to. Well, now you can.
Of course.
Yup. Let's down the cave way first. A mushroom farm. Interesting. Guess we know how they've been staying alive down here. I like the touch, at least. Especially with the bones. Implying that maybe they weren't solely subsisting on mushrooms during their hibernation in these ruins, but perhaps are going out and hunting some meat. Perhaps even bipedal ape man meat. And then using the scraps to nourish their mushroom farms. We got a big boy. A watchman.
Yes, good stuff.
Not that much tougher. And he's got a key for a cell. I hear more snarling. Got a handy place to rest if we need it. Not a whole lot in these cells, unfortunately. Shame they don't hide more loot. But they do hide a big feller.
You're no lizard. You have smooth skin. What is a human doing here?
I'm looking for the Druid.
Druid?
A human. A man. Probably a wizard.
Ah. You want Eldric.
Where is Eldric?
The Saurians took Eldric away. I have not seen him since then.
Do you know where they took him?
I have been trapped here, but once they took me through the wall. Maybe that is where they took Eldric.
Which wall did you go through?
A wall in the passage behind a big room. Pull a ring and the wall opens.
What was behind the wall?
They used magic. Tried to hurt me, Drock. But I am stronger than pain.
What are you doing here?
The lizard men caught me. I, Drock, fought, but there were too many. Saurians. They smell as bad as they look.
Astute observation.
You're free now.
Then my honor owes you much.
What were they trying to interrogate you for, I wonder? What information did they hope to glean? Oh, surely he will owe us a favor later. Ring of Life Energy. No use to me. Lizard.
We'll get it. One less monster.
I got him. Obsidian.
Here's some more ore.
Okay, well, it's not these rings, what he means. We do got a winch. I don't think a witch could lift a massive slab of stone like that, but...
Neat work!
Maybe these Saurians are surprisingly adept engineers. But at least they opened the way I said they should. Where turning the crank should open it, and releasing the crank should close it. They're smarter than whoever built that contraption in the tunnel below the other temple. Well, I can hear snarling beyond the wall. Let's pull a ring. Not that ring. That ring.
Yes, good stuff!
Got him. Didn't even get a chance to look at me. Priest. Teleport Northeastern Temple. Another strangely unnecessary teleport stone, because we have no other reason to ever come here. But I guess it's there in case you find that you need... or couldn't open any of these chests or something.
Oh no.
Until you come back with more tools.
Did it?
Alright, let's speak to the man himself.
Finally. I thought I would never get out of there. I am Eldric. Most people call me Eldric, and I thank you for releasing me.
What are you doing here?
Who can say?
It's an inopportune time for
What
that.
is a man to fate but an ant to the queen? I am a druid. Who and what do you think you are?
I think I'm in the dark.
Who knows? I'm a castaway. I got washed up here and now I'm stuck.
Then fate brought you here. It brought you here because it has something in store for you.
What do you mean by that?
Nothing happens by chance. There is a reason you survived. The world has a plan and you are but a building block. You cannot resist it. So tell me, why do you think you are here?
I need help repairing a magical artifact.
What kind of artifact?
A crystal disc, but the crystal has lost its power.
Do you have the disc here?
No, Master Cyrus has it.
A mage? No. I don't work with mages. If you want me to repair the disc, then I will work on it alone. With you. Bring the disc to me. Without a mage, then we'll go to my hut.
It's gonna be complicated because I am a mage. So, I don't know how that's gonna work.
Here, I found a staff. I presume it's yours.
Thank you. I lost it while trying to fight off these lizard men. Still, for my staff, perhaps you can use this amulet. I never was one for jewelry.
Clearly, you are a man of, humble appearance. Also, despite you getting your sleeve torn, your robes look very intact.
I need the disc.
Why?
Eldric does not want to include you in the ritual.
What? Nonsense. I must be a part.
Is that what you'll say to the Inquisitor
It's
if
an
Eldric
awkward framing.
refuses to help?
Very well. Arrogant stupidity. Take the disc. I'll look around and then return to the monastery. You'll find me there, should you find you need me.
Well, for now, I don't.
I've got the disc.
Excellent. We should get out of here then. Let us go to my hut. Come on! Why are we standing here where lizard men may find us?
I don't think you need to worry about that. I left none standing.
What do you know about these lizard men?
They might seem like simple lizard men to you, but they once ruled the world, but that was long ago, very long ago. I have no idea where these come from. No. They should all be dead, extinct. Yet here they are. It must have something to do with the ruins.
But do you think there are more lizard men?
Who knows? Who knows? They must have been driven to places away from mankind, taken to hiding. But the past lays claims on the future. The lizard men, the Saurians, are a part of the past. Maybe now they wish to claim the future.
Then we must stop them in the present.
Let's go to your hut.
Follow me.
Following. And Cyrus, meanwhile, just sticks around, kind of snoops about these ruins. Until you finish this up, and then he'll end up back at the monastery.
So, here we are. We can discuss everything here.
Are you trained in magic?
Magic is one of the oldest forces there is in the world, I think. I wasn't there, so I'm guessing. The world is full of it.
How does knowing this help us?
How can you learn without curiosity? Have you never put your finger into something you shouldn't, just to see what would happen?
Yeah, what happened was 6 months in prison.
Why do you live out here?
I have spent my whole life here.
It isn't exactly safe out here.
Where is there safety? What is safety? Whether you're in the town or in the wilderness. Out here, at least, I am only responsible for myself.
Can you repair this disc?
Let me see. It is old. An unusual combination of metal and crystal. But the crystal is dull. Its power is extinguished.
Can the disc be repaired?
I can attempt to heal the crystal. Only then can its magic be restored. What do you need this disc for?
The Inquisitor wants to open a gate in the volcano.
Use your mind. He does not want to open the gate, he wants to go inside. Logic, logic, logic! Why does he want to go inside?
His research says there is something in there. Something which will determine all our futures.
I hope the Inquisitor knows what he is doing. I do not like this business with the lizard men. But one thing at a time. First, we will concern ourselves with the disc.
How can you heal a crystal?
The crystal must heal itself. This process must be assisted.
What do you need me to do?
The simplest way is to use another crystal to charge the magic in this one. Do you have a magically active crystal?
Where do I find a magically active crystal?
Well, the mages at the monastery use crystals to work magic. I need one of those crystals. But know this, it will lose its power in the ritual.
So I have to go all the way back to the monastery.
Oh, no. I have a crystal in my hut, in the chest. Here's the key.
That's weird, because you can use one of your own crystals to do this. But I don't understand why, because he has one immediately on hand. Also, his hut bugs me. I mean, I have a lot of problems with games where they make, like, tents and leather armor and stuff out of just random scraps of leather. Like, little scraps like that, you aren't just gonna take the incredible amount of time to stitch little bits together. Like, you're gonna work with the biggest pieces you can get your hands on. But also, he made himself a whole stone chimney, and then spent the rest of his time just stitching leather together. Which would probably leak like crazy, because how are you making those stitches watertight? When you could've, you know, taken the time, I don't know, make some wooden planks and a thatch roof, like most people did back in the day. I mean, you had the time for plenty of wood furniture. So what recipe did he have? I could not possibly tell at this point. I've simply got too many.
I have an active crystal.
Good. But remember, it will lose its power in the ritual. If you have any further use for it, you should look for another.
So yes, you can use your fire or frost ones if you really felt like you're never going to use one of those. But since we have a duplicate regular magic one, let's use that.
Here is a magic crystal.
Very good. The magic from this crystal will help us heal the damaged disc.
How do we restore the disc's crystal?
It requires an ancient ritual.
Then let's start it.
Before we begin, I must discuss something with you.
Discuss what?
You saved my life. I am in your debt, so I will help you. But you must take care. You do not know what is inside that mountain. So, before you act, I advise you to speak to me first.
What if I don't have enough time to return?
Well, the mystery of the mountain has slumbered for over 1,000 years. A few days, more or less, should not make a difference. But to act rashly now, that would cost us 1,000 years. An eternity. Before we act, we must know what is behind the gate. It is either very powerful, valuable, or dangerous. Find what is inside. Read everything, and return here.
So it's another one of those cases where the way he says that implies that he wants you to come back to him before the big event happens. Which reminds me of when Zardos in Gothic 2 says something to suggest that you should return to him after encountering the dragons, but before you defeated them all. But that's not the case. Same thing here. I don't think anything happens if you return to him before opening the gate to the mountain. You're meant to come back to him after that.
Let's charge the crystal.
Yes, but we cannot charge it here. Follow me.
Following. Done a lot of following today.
Stop. We are here.
What is this place?
It has great magical power. Let us begin the process.
Exciting. At least it doesn't take 60 seconds like it does in Gothic 2.
So the disc is healed?
That is what we were here to do. What else would I mean by done?
Thank you. Then I will take the disc to the Inquisitor.
Do that. But if you need a level ahead than the Inquisitor... Inquisitor! How can a man with such a closed mind be called inquisitive? It is a crime against language. Keep a level head. Speak to me before you make a decision with him. I promise you an open mind and brilliant insight. Good luck. Take care of yourself.
So yeah, now is the moment where we would go return to the Inquisitor. But we can't inquire with Eldric, regardless. Ooh, big snarly. Let's just see what he's got squirreled away back here. And then we head back... Oh, I think I already opened this, didn't I? Sure did. So... I'm gonna head to Harbor Town first. I want to see if we can, in fact, talk to Mr. Smith. I always forget what his real name is. About these lizard weapons.
Have you ever seen a sword like this?
Let me see. This is obsidian. I played around with this, but I never thought you could make swords out of it. I attempted it once, but the blank was too brittle and splintered with the first blow. Wait, do you see this? Looks like traces of gold. Maybe that gives the obsidian some flexibility.
Can you make me a sword out of obsidian?
With the right raw materials, I could try to make blanks that you could work yourself.
So you need some obsidian.
And gold. You bring me obsidian and gold, and I'll have a go at making sword blanks out of it.
I've got some obsidian for you.
Have you now?
So, curiously, the obsidian, or the gold that he needs to go with it, is not gold ore or gold nuggets. It's just gold coins. Which I guess is a bit handy, because even if you're mining lumps of gold, you're probably not going to have as many of those as you have gold coins.
Don't just stand around. Be off with you.
But it's also funny the way he describes it, as if working with obsidian is like working with any normal metal.
Yes.
Which is not the case. Obsidian is not a metal, it is a volcanic stone, a volcanic glass, really. And I don't think you can forge it in any way. The way it was typically used, it was actually a very effective material for making, like, blades. you know, you can make very, very sharp knives and stuff out of it, but it was used to make weapons like this thing I could never possibly pronounce. I believe I already brought it up once in the series. But yeah, a lot of ancient weapons before the Metal Age. They did use, obviously, assorted types of stone. Flint was very common as well, but obsidian was very useful in, like, South American cultures. And probably other places around the world, for all I know. I think they've even, like, considered ways of using obsidian in place of, like, stainless steel surgical instruments, like scalpels and stuff. Whoa, fellers! Alright, so you know we're all done, because all the men are at the ready here. So this is the point where we could enter the mountain and things... Well, as Tucker here once said, shit really hits the fan. Before we do that, though, there's one thing that's been lingering in the back of my mind I really want to go take care of. We got a couple extra barrier spells from Cyrus. And there's a barrier down below in the cellar here that we were unable to do anything about. So why don't we just see what secrets lie within, so we can finally wrap that up. We actually do have another excuse to come down here later, but I don't want to spill the beans on that. Alright, stupid light spell didn't get past this stupid anti-magic crystal down here. How stupid. Kablooey.
Interesting.
Interesting. And you hold recipe for a Wanderlust potion. Now, the nice thing about this is it does not need the hero's crown the way other permanent potions do. But that is basically an XP potion. So obviously, the further along we get in this game, the less useful it is. I believe it gives like 500 XP per potion. But since it doesn't really use anything, it's something you might as well make every time you have the means. I mean, it doesn't use anything unique. Things that you have a limited amount of, besides the Wanderlust itself, which has no other use. But anyway, let's see if Ignatius has any words of wisdom before we go below with Mendoza. Nope. Alright, well, we are at a crossroads here. And once we make the decision to enter the mountain, the world may never be the same. But that will have to happen next time. But for now, this is where we wrap it up. And things are going to move, I'd say, fairly quick from this point on. Like I said, there's not a whole lot different between the three factions, so I do still need to catch them up. Really should have taken the time to do that before now, but I've been doing other things instead. So, like, once we're out of the mountain here, we have a few different things that will happen with each of those. That's really the last thing I'm going to show for either of the other two. But it'll be an opportunity to kind of show what advanced combat is with those guys. But that is not going to happen now. And yeah. Really, once we reach the end of this, which is probably going to happen, I don't know. I'm trying to guess how many episodes there are left, but whatever. Not going to drag out the end of this episode just for that speculation. So, for now, hope you all enjoyed watching. Make sure you stay safe, stay healthy. If you are not aware, I stream on weekends at 9 a.m. EST on this channel and on Twitch as well. I don't really plug my other channels so much. But yes, check those out. Links in the description below. Otherwise, stay safe, stay healthy, and goodbye.